Well, I think I've just gotten over the shock that this thing actually came out. I've been listening to it for the past week, so either it's some crazy dream and I still haven't woken up, or I've gone delusional. Of course, I'm talking about the new Guns N' Roses album, Chinese Democracy, the most expensive album ever recorded due to 13-something years of production. The last GNR album of original material was back in 1991. That was, of course, the duo release of Use Your Illusion 1 and 2. In 1993, there was the Spaghetti Incident, which was all cover songs. And in 1994, there was the Rolling Stones cover of Sympathy for the Devil, and that was released on the Interview with the Vampire soundtrack. After that, the band broke up, but Axl Rose still carries on the GNR name, and from that point on is where the Chinese Democracy project began. The band members would keep changing to the point where it was impossible to keep track, and there were too many recording studios to even count. In 1999, they released a single appropriately titled Oh My God. It had an avant-garde sort of industrial sound. Lots of us thought that this track would be on Chinese Democracy, but instead it ended up on the End of Days soundtrack. Regardless, I was pretty sure that the album would soon follow, but boy was I wrong. In 2002, the new lineup of GNR performed at the MTV Music Awards and actually played a new song called Madagascar. Again, I thought the album would soon follow. Again, I was completely wrong. Over the years, there's been countless delays and tentative release dates, none of which were met. But now, in 2008, something special happened. Dr. Pepper said that if Axl would release the album this year, they would give away a free 20-ounce Dr. Pepper to everybody in America. Of course, the release date popped up almost on cue, and Dr. Pepper had to keep their honor. But the offer was only good for one day. You had to go to the Dr. Pepper website and get a coupon. But of course, the site wouldn't load. That meant that they did not have to give away a free Dr. Pepper to every person in America. But it definitely got Dr. Pepper into our minds, so I guess I can say it was one hell of a marketing strategy, and it at least got the album to come out. But anyway, it's finally out, there's been a lot of hype, but the only question is, what does everybody think? Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I can give my own opinion, and in short, I like it. But there's really two major problems with this album, both which are very obvious, but I might as well get them out of the way. The first problem is that it really shouldn't have been called Guns N' Roses. The band was originally formed by ex-members of LA Guns and Hollywood Rose, therefore making it Guns N' Roses. But now that Axl Rose is the only original member, it doesn't really make any sense. It should have just been called Axl Rose, since he's the ringleader in the center of all these changing musicians. While this is only a small point, the reason it hurts the music is because many people are going to keep comparing it to the old Guns N' Roses, when in fact it's something completely different than, say, Appetite for Destruction. But one way to get people to listen to it with fresh ears would have been to not call it Guns N' Roses. In fact, there's more members of Guns N' Roses in Velvet Revolver, so they might as well be called Guns N' Roses. The second thing that hurts it for me is that it just took too damn long. Nothing is worth so many false release dates and setbacks. With each year, our expectations grew higher, and our curiosity got the best of us. We've all heard them play several of the new songs live. We heard one of the songs on Rock Band 2, and in the end, when we got the whole thing, it felt anticlimactic because half the album we've heard already. Like I said, when they played Madagascar at the MTV Awards, that was 6 years ago. But with all that aside, let's talk about the music a little. The title track is probably the most aggressive song on the album. It has a heavy groove that leaves you satisfied. The only disappointment is that the rest of the album seems to get softer. While it picks up sometimes, it never gains the momentum that you'd expect from a heavy rock band. Shackler's Revenge is out of control. The guitars have that ugly experimental 90s sound, and there's a blistering solo, which I assume is Buckethead. There's a chorus in which Axl harmonizes with himself, laying down more vocal tracks than I can even count. It's way overblown, but immediately catchy. Better is another really catchy one. Great riff and that kind of singing that only Axl can make sound so awesome. Street of Dreams begins with the piano intro. The first thing anybody will think is November Rain. Here, Axl's Banshee shriek is in full gear. This is one that sticks in my head the most. It's the mother of all power ballads. If the World is a real funky one that kind of sounds like part of Echoes by Pink Floyd. This is one to definitely listen to with headphones. The rest of the songs all have their moments, but I feel as if the beginning tracks are the best. The later ones might grow on me more, but for now, it's a lot to take in. It's a lot of daring instrumentation all sewn together with many styles. In a word, it's epic. Contrary to popular belief, it's not sold exclusively at Best Buy. You can still get it from iTunes, which is the most convenient way. It seems that CDs are trying to fight against the grain, but if you're really a purist, I say it's all about vinyl. Anyway, it's been an exciting time for me. 3 of my favorite bands have released albums in the past 3 months. September was Metallica, October was AC/DC, and November was Guns N' Roses. Like, what's going on? So if you're a fan too, and you're open-minded to a new Guns N' Roses sound, then I think you'll quite like it.